Hey guys, how's it going? tmanplays here with another Warno ranked game for you today, and facing off against a very good opponent in Tiberius Rancor, usually found in the top 10 of rank, playing with 39th, and we're going to be playing as the third armored. So this is one of my kind of first few games playing third, trying to figure out what's so good about this division, how to play it, as I'm not really a third armored player. So, strategy going to be going very heavily in the middle, just putting some recon on the far left and right, as we see a bunch of Mi-2s supported by some Mi-24 AA helicopters being flown in to the outskirts. So that's going to show me that we can pretty much dominate the middle, and that's where the majority of my forces are going anyways. Only brought in one CV, so that's going to take a while to capture all these zones. So he's going to start with a slight point advantage on us. And I did get a tow 2 for this area because I'm hoping to eventually push into this zone. So I'm buying a Thunderbolt now to start trying to take out some of these helicopters, as it is going to cut off my infantry push into this area. So going to pull my infantry off the main road there, unload my Stinger in the back, with hopes of at least significantly damaging the helicopter there. Unfortunately, our Stinger already missing 2 shots in a row. Do finally hit the 3rd shot there, as our Thunderbolt is coming in. Able to easily gun that down, going for the 2nd helicopter. Do get a AIM-9M there that hits, and our Thunderbolt getting targeted by the Su-27S. I am going to buy an Eagle just because I want to get air superiority early. Unfortunately, though, Eagle not able to really hit the Su-27S there, and he is going to make it out alive. But we do have a nice spread of units in the middle, as I'm pushing up my fire team AT4s to capture all these important areas. Bradley also moving in behind here just to capture the far side, maybe cut off some units that move to the middle. And we see a T-80 BVK here at the outskirts. So command finally coming in for the middle here. This will at least stabilize. Only give him a +2, as I'm desperately searching for where his command is, as I have just an overwhelming amount of force here. On the right, just the recon unit, making sure he's not going to push anything into my back zone. And a little too aggressive with the Bradley here, as it'll get one tapped by his unit. And we see some BMP2s starting to show up. So gonna move my Bradley to get back some shots on these, as the first tow is gonna miss. Bought another A10 to help with some of these engagements, but then I see the T-62s showing up, so gonna decide to go for those. Fortunately for us, though, don't get a single hit, and our A10 does go down. So infantry just moving up to cut off the supply. We did end up killing the BTR-60 there. So we at least do maintain control of the center for now, as I'm trying to start putting pressure on the left and slowly moving up some of these units to better positions. See, buying some more AT4s now, as well as an M1A1, because I know I need some type of heavy hitter here to deal with the T-62s that he's now bringing in. Can't rely on just infantry for that. And we see on this side some motorized Rodvika and the T-80 BVK there. And some BMP-2s now pushing up to the middle. So we're kind of losing these engagements because of the fire support of the T-62, which is a bit unfortunate for us, as now having to pull back with all this infantry, as our reinforcements are quite a ways away, being such a big map this is. So I don't want to get fired upon by the BMP-2s, so you can see kind of positioning my infantry a little behind, as the BMP-2s are somewhere in this area. That way we can fire upon the infantry as it gets close and not have to worry about getting gunned down from some other unit. Trying to route a supply for my units over here, but then we see there's an infantry unit moving behind my line. Unfortunately, the Motoshoki there gonna snipe my supply anyways. And our progress in the middle is actually falling pretty fast, as these T-62s are a really big issue for me right now, as I don't really have anything I can deal with them. So I'm gonna order another supply for my little fire team Stinger clump here, as our infantry now finally starting to arrive. So we're at least able to get some reinforcements here for now, and the T-62s can't push into the town area. I am buying some engineers as well, just to help with some of these infantry engagements. And we see now BMP-3s have moved to better positions in order to hit my units, so having to fall back with these guys just a bit. And the first Apache has been bought with Hellfires. That way I can kind of hit these T-62s and test out what AA he has, as I don't feel like he has a lot of AA at the moment. So, gonna be able to hit the infantry pretty nicely as well, as the first Hellfire goes out. Smokes right before we can get the hit though, and the Su-27S able to easily finish off my Apache there. Eagle though, this time doesn't miss, and we'll take that out. So I'm at least okay with that trade, as it starts to let me get air supremacy, and that's going to become very important as we get into the later stages of this game. All these BMP-2s and BMP-3s though, real big issue for all my fire teams, as we're losing a lot of these engagements. Su-25 tries to go for the M1A1, able to at least get a shot on his command there, but don't want to take any more Conquerors hits, so gonna try and pull that back now, as our middle is starting to collapse. Can't see me there, so he's just gonna fly around as our Stinger tries to get some damage in. I bought another Eagle because we really need air supremacy at this point. Can't just let him fly like that and not do anything about it. So now that he got away, just gonna fly the Eagle behind my line in hopes that he sends another plane. And on the left here, trying to sneak the CV into this area. He does get a really nasty side shot there though, so gonna have to smoke this guy off and pull him back for repairs, as that one hurt a lot. So he did get CV back in the zone, puts him at a +2 as he controls both outside and contests the middle. So our plan at this point has kind of fallen apart, as he seems to be more in control of the middle, and I don't really have anything on the right, and my force pushing into the left-hand side is not very well equipped to deal with the T-80 BVK at the moment. So having quite a few issues. He is going to take the bait, though, and come out to engage these engineers. Unfortunately, he does get one of them, but our TOW 2 able to one-shot the CV there. So that's really great for us, as now I can push these engineers up with no threat. And our other engineers finally arriving. Unfortunately now, though, there is Motostrelki here. And I'm going to lose one of the engineers before they can even do anything. So really bad micro on my part there. So pushing out my Abrams to help with fire support, even though it is damaged quite badly. But we need to get some momentum here in the left as we are starting to really lose the middle. I'm kind of starting to feel my way out of this game. So Bradley trying to sneak behind the lines, but BMP2's gonna end up cutting me off there, and we don't even take out a single one. So another bad loss there. On this side, our TOW 2 trying to do some damage to the T-62. And we're just slowly being kicked out. Having to reverse my Abrams now because I don't want any AT to come and take that out. And I'm moving back in my fully healed fire team law now. Had to move it out of the building to repair. And yeah, just gonna retreat this Abrams because there's so much stuff starting to come at me. Engineer is gonna be able to deal with the amount of shoots in here though, so that's nice. And I feel it's comfortable enough to sneak a CV in. As we see a helicopter showing up, but my Stinger gonna be able to get a nice hit on target. As well as another Apache rocket that I purchased that can hopefully help deal with some of this stuff. As I have 2 Eagles ready to go, so feeling pretty comfortable about defending my Apache. A-10 though, unfortunately, gonna get shot down, but the double Eagle gonna be able to take out his other fighter, and that gives us full air superiority now, as he has no more fighters. So now our CV sneaks in, able to at least capture the zone here, stop the +1 tick, as our Stinger desperately trying to kill this Mi-24V is able to finish it off. And our Bradley trying to engage these BMP2s with the support of the Apache, as we do have 2 of them. So at least able to do a lot of damage in the middle here, fighting our way back in. AT4 team here trying to defend against a lot of infantry that's just all of a sudden shown up. And we see some Cubes in the rear here, killing off another one of my A-10s. So Apache's gonna be in a bit of trouble now, as we at least do kill an Igla, trying to retreat the one there. And Su-25 comes in for the other, so gonna be another target for my Eagles. I split each side they come in on, and our Eagles gonna get some missiles off, able to finish that off, and now gonna each evac over different sides. Pretty cool. So slowly dwindling down his air force, but our middle holding capacity is not looking that great, and our position on the left is not looking that great, considering he now has a bunch of infantry here, and he's charging down my TOW 2 with the Metis. I do have the Abrams that I am just kind of carelessly pushing up at this point. Seeing that there is a meta squad here, I'm just going to try and rush that into the minimum engagement distance. Does take out my supply from my Stinger there. That's a bit rough. So see, I'm just kind of charging my Abrams forward. This is a bit dumb though. My Abrams turns its armor to the rear for some reason and gets side-shotted and dies. It was because there was a tank showing up on this road. Yeah, but my Abrams just, I guess, wanted to go out there not wanting to continue that fight. So really unfortunate there, as I could have dealt with these by just pushing my tank through. But his vehicle here made me turn my armor the other direction. So retreating my Stinger in tow, as we don't want the metas to just kill these off. LRS going to be trying to snipe these guys. I think actually firing upon the metas team at the moment though. And we're slowly getting reinforcements to the middle. Bradley going to be firing on all these Igla teams that just showed up. I originally heard the missile though, thought there was perhaps a metas team firing at my Bradley, so I did smoke off, but then realized it was just Igla teams, so then moved my Bradley. And the TOW here, going to be trying to deal with the T-62. This is the final shot, so we got to make it count, but he's going to smoke off and escape. I do have the AT-4 that I'm trying to flank him with in case he does push back out, which he does. So just trying to destroy my TOW there. And we're really trying to get the side shot here as the CV does enter the back zone. And he's now pushed it back, really hoping it comes into range again. Sure enough, there it is. We're in range, and we get the side shot. So perfect. Do lose the supply, but we at least take out the main threat that was in the area, which was the T-62. Now, I have a Thunderbolt coming up, as I know he doesn't have any air superiority fighters, and I'm highly doubtful of his AA situation on this side. So Thunderbolt should just be able to reign free as his AA is in this area. As long as I keep my Thunderbolt over here, we should be fine. And I'm going to push in with an Abrams just to cut off this reinforcement road from his side. See, I'm spotting the unit here for my Thunderbolt to come back around. And buying some more AT infantry to help defend our CV here. So Thunderbolt going to be targeting the metas team now. Tiberius, though, going to realize that, try and get those guys out of there, which he does successfully. And I get into range of the Cubes mistakenly, but our A10 is actually going to be able to make it out. It's just going to be having to repair itself for quite a while. So M1A1 going to be trying to go for the CV here, as I want him out of the zone. But a sneaky Su-25 comes out of nowhere and just whacks my M1A1 there. Had no idea that was coming. But the Eagle's at least going to be able to retaliate. So we at least take out another one of his anti-tank planes there, which is going to be very useful as we get into the later stages. Tiberius still at a +1, over 700 points advantage, as we're about halfway through the game at this point. I am deciding to test what he has in the middle, as I have committed quite a bit to the left here. Want to keep him honest and basically keep him reinforcing this area, as now I'm losing the left-hand side, and it's not looking that great for me at this point. But not giving up, we're going to decide to push back in, test our luck. He does capture the zone again, as I had to pull out my CV because of the trailing infantry here. So if I lose the CV, very tragic. So we really don't need that right now. Apache going to come in to help deal with this, as he doesn't have any AA in this area. So the Apache should be really well used, especially since he doesn't have anything to really take this out. So going to buy another Apache too, just to basically clean up this area. He does have quite a lot of BTRs and other units here, so pushing this area not going to be too effective. As we see my infantry just slowly going down. Apache, though, can at least be able to start hitting some of these transports. Take those out. As it does actually miss twice in a row there. Bradley able to get 2 toe shots on the T-80BV. takes that out, and another Su-25 decides to come in for my Apache, and you know what that means. Eagle's gonna be following that up, taking him out, and his Air Force continues to get weaker while I still have another Apache showing up. So M1A1 here, gonna be getting surrounded by all this AT infantry. Really don't want that to sit there for too long, so gonna have to pull that guy back as we want to keep all this at range. On the right hand side here, see some motorized Redveka that our LRS is engaging. Bradley able to destroy a T-62 there, and the AT infantry does end up actually chasing down my Abrams there and taking it out. And now we have another big issue as our CV is slowly being collapsed upon by a lot of enemy infantry. We do now have full control of the left-hand side, which is great. I was going to sneak a CV into here, but then spotted he actually has a helicopter. And unfortunately, our Apache going to get caught out by a Coob there. So really tragic. Bradley, though, going to be trying to return the favor, but his Coob is going to escape. Eagles going for the recon. Then we're going to evac those to the left, as his AA is here. And I'm trying to sneak in the CV now to the back zone, as that's basically going to be my only way back into this game, as now we've completely lost control of the middle again. So you can see my strategy now for the right-hand side is basically sneaking in a command tank and the mortar going to come in, and then we're just going to smoke this off, force him to engage us. Do end up actually fully capturing the zone, though, as he doesn't have a CV here, which will stop the tick, at least, as Tiberius at a 870-point lead at this point. Abrams coming in to kind of stop him from pushing anything into my back zone. And our Bradley trying to deal with this AA, just trying to sneak that behind him. Do end up fully capturing Bravo, which is nice, as we really needed that. And that will put us at a nice +4, which is a very good tick and what we need to start the comeback here. So Abrams going to be trying to catch out the BTRs here. T-80BV. Unfortunately, going to get a nice hit with the missile there. I was really counting on that missing. And the AT infantry trying to come behind my Abrams. So Su-25 AT does take out my tank, as my mortar hadn't arrived yet to be able to smoke that off. Eagles, though, going to be going for the kill on that. And we do get the kill. Evac to the right to avoid the AA. And now some units starting to push across over here. I am going to order a command tank to kind of cut off the bridge. Make sure he can't push me through there. And we see a UAZ KPV chasing after my M151 there. Trying to just escape that now at this point, as it did what it needed to do, and I want to keep my CVs alive. This, though, big problem, as we can't really deal with all these units coming into my zone, and we do end up losing the zone again. So I decided at this point, I just want to keep this alive as long as possible. So I'm going to try and rush him to the back of the zone, get as many command points as we possibly can. My CV here gets very close to being taken out, trying to hide that now behind the hill, as we want to keep this +4 as long as possible. So KPV gonna end up catching me out, though. Does take out my command. As our Abrams really missing the BTR here, but we're still at a +2 as we control both outside zones and contest the middle. Starting to catch up. Still over 500 points behind, though. See the BTR here, trying to take out my LRS that I'm retreating, but my other M1A1 Gonna have something to say about that. Able to take him out. Take out the recon helicopter here with our Eagles, and then peel off and evacuate to the left, staying away from these cubes. And now my Abrams pushing back in, trying to get control over this area so they can't just push infantry through. Tow 2, going for the T-80BV. Does get a nice hit there to the front, followed up by the Bradley, and that's going to be a dead T-80BV. We do get back in the zone on the right here, but it is contested now, so we will have to be careful of that. As our Abrams just slowly taking out units in this area. So I did see that he had a command helicopter back here, and I just want to take that out so it'll dwindle his command supply. So gonna go straight for that. Try and take that out. The helicopter does end up surviving though, as he changed altitude right before I could take it out. Thunderbolt, gonna be trying to help kill off some of the infantry here. Is at least able to highly damage that. As at this point, I think he didn't really resupply his Cubs, because I felt like they should have been able to get a shot there. So now I'm going to push a little deeper with the A-10 to test that theory. Trying to kill this T-80BV, but he is going to smoke. And sure enough, Cubs didn't fire again, so I'm thinking he's now out of ammo for those. So going to go for these little armored vehicles now coming across the bridge. Do lose line of sight though. So now pivoting to the middle as our Bradley gonna try and help deal with the units over here. Dealing with the Superiority with our fire team laws. And still contesting the far right over here. So A-10 getting shot at by an Igla, but helping maintain dominance over the middle, as now I'm pushing through a sniper team to clear this forest. And my Bradley now going to provide coverage over the bridge. And we're going to heal up our CV and infantry here with our supply. So you can see, just kind of smoking it off every now and then. He does start to push out some recon though to spot that. But our Abrams can deal with that pretty easily. The only thing that's really scary is if he decides to push through with AT infantry through the smoke. But this also equally is scary, as the T-80BV will do a lot of damage to an M1A1. And sure enough, the AT infantry comes in to try and finish me off. Thankfully, smoke lands just in time, but we're going to retreat that anyways, as we just need to repair that, heal him up, and then we can push back in. On the left, I want to capture this zone again, so moving up some Bradleys for support, and I have some infantry that I can move in here as well, as I won't be able to win with no tick here, still behind over 300 points. A-10 can at least be able to deal with the motor Strelky there and damage the motorized Radvika, but does run out of fuel, gonna be forced to evac. I did buy 2 F-15s to come finish that unit off, but we lost visual. Do just gun run the spot anyways, and then we're gonna evacuate those F-15s. As a Bradley goes down here. But we at least have a good hold on the left. I am moving up command Abrams here. I have another one that I could also move just in case, as he is going to start to fire missiles. So we're going to turn our front armor to him and just go and engage, as that would have definitely hit us in the side. So now going for the engagement, and we're buying an HA, as I feel pretty comfortable that I'll be able to take this area. So gonna get a good hit there as our other M1A1 is approaching. And we're just gonna try and run that in the zone, but we do see he actually has some infantry here. Other M1A1 gets a nice hit. On this side, he is rushing forward with some T-80 BVs. Our command did end up going down there. And our M1 here are going to be struggling to really hit. Same with our Bradley. Very unfortunate. Do get an engine destroy there. But M1A1 heavily damaged. Gonna have to pull that back as our Bradley tries to kill the destroyed engine T-80 BV. Does get a hit though, but he's gonna survive on 1 HP and then take out my Bradley. On the left here, I did get my M1A1 into the zone. Gonna try and sneak here now, as we're trying to scout areas here with our infantry, make sure he doesn't really have any AT here, as that puts me at a +2. Somehow, the CV exited the middle there, or we somehow took it out, not quite sure, but that gives us a +4, which is now really starting to help our combat efforts, as we're only 8 minutes left in the game. So we can actually see the CV did leave the zone, trying to take back this area, but Bradley gonna be able to stop that, as we had him on bridge duty. So CV here gonna be hiding in the forest as we're covering him with our infantry. Other CV was moving up, but then I realized, I already got the CV here. I don't need 2 tank CVs there, so we can just kind of heal that up. Wait. PVAD's moving up for air cover in case he has a helicopter. And on the far right here, we're just gonna play protective in our rear zone. AT4 infantry does go down there, though, as there's a tank behind my line. HA gonna sneak up behind him, though, able to hit him in the rear. So that's a very nice kill for us, as he's now trying to cap my rear zone. So we can see he's now changed his plans. Doesn't want to land where the HA can hit him. He's going to go for this middle Gulf zone instead. I was concentrating pretty heavily on some of the engagements over here, as my command starting to get fired upon by a bunch of UAZs. Eagles go in for the MI9. Not able to kill it off, though. Still alive on 1 bit of health. And this is a bit of a problem, as I only have the tank CVs now. So if he captures Gulf, I'm in a lot of trouble. Thank goodness the Eagles end up hitting there. And we end up taking out another T-80 BV. So HA really holding the line nicely in Hotel, as our other HA here putting some fire on these units. We did lose the M1A1 there to a UAZ. So now I'm moving across the other command to this area, but being heavily damaged, I'm going to stop and repair that first, as we don't want to lose this, as it's one of our last command vehicles. I have that command and the M151 CP there. No other command units that I can field. So I'm going to repair that and scout ahead with our PVADs and our HA to try and get the command in this little tree line here, as we are now at a point advantage. PVADs does go down there to the BV. Fire team going to be securing the other side of the river. Buying some recon now, as I know I'll need it for my CV. And here, get 2 tank shots. And our HA going to be able to finish that guy off. The command actually finishes it off instead. And now we're fully assaulting the middle. And I spot another MI9 command. So Eagles going to be coming out for that. And with air superiority, we can do this, as I also think he ran out of supply for his AA. Spoke a little too soon, actually. But both Eagles make it out alive. And we're sitting at a nice +2 tick with 5 minutes left. Our Abrams is going to get engaged by a bunch of these UAZs here, but now that we're facing front armor, we can take that engagement, and we're slowly getting rid of all the units there, and that's going to force Tiberius to surrender and give us the victory. So traded really well. Uh, Kind of a really terrible start as we didn't concentrate on the open areas, which is where this division would actually be good. I was hoping by concentrating on an area where I wouldn't be good, he would overinvest into the sides and then give me full control of the middle, but that clearly didn't happen. Led to a really fun game, quite a fun comeback, and I hope you all enjoyed. So, with that being said, y'all have a great day, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later.